Deep in the Amazon rainforest, a family from the Zo'é tribe are on the move. Their possessions are only what they carry on their naked backs. 4 husbands, 1 wife, and 5 children are all heading for the same manioc garden. It's now the cultivating season, when planted crops complement the hunting of wild animals. The Zo'é are one of the few isolated tribes who still follow this semi-nomadic existence, hardly changed since the discovery of the Americas. In this film, we witness a way of life that has almost disappeared from human history. The Great Amazon Rainforest. To the outside world, this vast primeval ecosystem is a mysterious universe of strange plants and animals. But to the Zo'é, it's home. The Zo'é live in an isolated pocket of upland rainforest in northern Brazil. Though their territory is no larger than New York City, it's part of a rainforest 2/3 the size of the United States of America. Until recently, the Zo'é were almost invisible to the outside world. In 1983, missionaries attempted to make contact. But 2 years later, the area was demarcated as a no-access zone by the Indian Protection Service of Brazil. Since then, few outsiders have been allowed contact. Today, an isolated clearing in the rainforest has been awakened by the sounds of a Zo'é family group. The nomadic family have reoccupied one of their seasonal settlements. Debu is the heart of the family. She's 35, married to 4 husbands, and has 5 children. Shu is her principal husband and the father of the children. He is also considered to be the leader of the family unit because of his experience as a hunter. Debu has 2 young husbands, Tuai and Kuru. Tiahu is her oldest partner. His own wife died some years ago, so he's become the 4th husband. Together, the family exists as a self-sufficient unit, joined only by Kuru's mother and their pets. Small and adaptable, the family is able to move quickly to different parts of the forest, depending on where the food lies. Right now, their survival relies on manioc, which they harvest to make flour.
Video. Oi win that tell. Oi win that tell. What they want đồi. Oi win that đồi. Oi win that đồi. What they who. Đó đồi. Đồi.
10 days ago, the nomadic family arrived at this small open hut, which the Zo'é call a tipji. The dwelling has become a hive of activity and a temporary home close to their manioc garden. Once the garden has been harvested and replanted, the family will leave it untended as they visit other parts of the forest. Because they are agriculturalists as well as hunters, the Zo'é are considered to be semi-nomadic. The manioc harvesting has brought the family together. It's an activity that involves everyone, from the oldest to the youngest.
Did you want to talk? Did you want to talk? Jual teta.
What are they?
Today, there's been a change of plan. After 2 time-consuming weeks in the manioc garden, the family have had little opportunity for hunting trips. Also, there have been few signs of game passing close by. The whole family have decided to head into the forest in search of food. Perhaps a visit will yield something unexpected. The rainforest is a labyrinth of crisscrossing trails. The Zo'é know this world of trees, plants, and animals intimately. The trails lead to different parts of the forest, some to groves rich in Brazil nut trees, and others to places best for hunting game. Depending on the time of year, the Zo'é will be on the lookout for signs of wild pigs and tapir, or birds such as curassow and toucan, and monkey. In a tropical rainforest, many of the animals live high in the canopy, where they feed on the fruits and other nutritious plants. This means that if the Zo'é want food, first they have to reach it. High up in the canopy, Shu's family have spotted a bee's nest. There's only one way of harvesting wild honey. Tu'ai, the young husband, climbs an adjacent tree which is 80 feet high. Balancing only on his gripped feet, he attempts to open it with a long pole. Tu'ai soon realizes that the nest is empty. The bees abandoned this hive long ago. After spending many hours away from the settlement, Shu's family have caught nothing, not even honey. Over the next few days, they'll find many ways of living off wild forest foods. And if they're lucky, a monkey group could wander through their territory and the meat come to them. For the moment, Shu takes his family to a stream close to their dwelling to bathe. The Zo'é love bathing, which is one of the time-honored practices of all Amazon peoples. More unique to the Zo'é are their distinctive lip plugs, made from a wood they call porturu. The Zo'é were, in fact, originally known as the porturu, since this is what the tribe replied when outsiders pointed towards their lip plugs. Cleaning the lip plugs is part of the Zo'é's daily routine. The plugs slide into a hole that's been pierced below their lip line. The size of the plug increases with age. The Zo'é first wear the lip plugs around the age of 9. The piercing takes place during an initiation ritual, considered to be one of the most important moments of their lives. Shu and Debu's family are hungry. Despite not having caught a monkey for many days, the Zo'é are skilled survivors. The family has gathered patawa fruit, which grows on a variety of palm trees. Kunsarandi, the oldest daughter, is making a nutritious soup from the fruit. The berries first need to be pounded, since the shells are bitter and inedible. Once they've been crushed into a pulp, they can be sieved and then boiled until they form a thick soup. Another vital forest food is the Brazil nut. Here, Zo'é, the youngest daughter, helps the oldest husband, Tiahu, to remove them from their shells. Pounding the shells releases their juices, making it easier to remove the Brazil nut. Many Amazon peoples depend on these protein-rich nuts, which they often eat when they're soft and freshly picked. The patawa soup prepared by Hunsaradit is now ready to eat and is shared out within the family. Forest plant foods like these will sustain the group even when there is no meat. The process of gathering, preparing and eating these foods is a continuous cycle of activity. Zo'é mealtimes are not just for the human family. Hunsaradi now feeds their adopted animals. The Zo'é bring these animals back from the forest when one of them has been orphaned after a hunt. It's not uncommon for them to make hammocks, especially for their animals. After the family has eaten, their attention once again turns to the next meal. Because no one has heard any sign of monkeys in the surrounding forest, they've decided to hunt for a different kind of prey. Hunters such as Shu are also skilled fishermen who manage to find food even in the smallest corners of the forest, such as a rock pool. Fish hooks and nylon line are one of the few goods that the Zo'é have acquired from the outside world. In the past, they used a small thorn for the hook. Shu grabs handfuls of water to sprinkle onto the rock pool. The fish will think that it's berries falling from the trees, hopefully enticing them to grab the bait. Shu manages to catch 2 tiny fish. It may not look like much, but along with berries, fruits, and other wild foods, it will at least stave off today's hunger. Over the next few days, Zo'é families, such as Shu's, are harvesting last season's manioc plants. The flour that is made from these vegetables will feed them in the months to come.
I prepara penanya, I did the datorito, I mean that ye, I the bahie, I monofatar. Monofatarnya. Datunya, I kanan buho, datunya foot, I am a chamio, I the bahie.
Growing manioc accounts for nearly all the agriculture practiced by the Zo'é. The vegetable is ideally suited to the thin Amazon soils. The plants grow rapidly in the warm tropical climate, but it's the roots that are eaten. Working the fields involves all the family. The harvesting season is short. At the same time as harvesting, the manioc is replanted. The freshly cut stems of the bush will grow into the next crop. Converting the root vegetables into flour is a complex process. In its natural state, the vegetable is poisonous. The process begins by scraping off the tough outer layer. Traditionally, the Zo'é use a small strip of hard wood to pound the skin off the root. This releases its juices, making the scraping easier. The next stage is grinding the manioc root into a pulp. It's a time-consuming task that the Zo'é have to complete alongside the work out in the field. To rinse the manioc of its toxic juices, they use tube-shaped sieves woven from plant fibers. Once laden with the pulp, the sieve is carried to a manioc press. It's simple technology, but highly effective. The heavy weight of the wooden log squeezes the manioc pulp inside the sieve. The ingenious basketry expands and contracts depending on the force exerted. From this single sieve load alone, the residue collected is so potent that it would be fatal were either animal or human to drink it. Once the toxins have been squeezed out, the pulp is dried until it becomes an edible flour. The Zo'é use this manioc flour to make a flat bread, traditional to Amazon communities. The flour can be stored or taken with them as they move to different parts of the forest. In clearings all across Zo'é territory, Indian households have congregated in village settlements to attend to their gardens. One of these Zo'é villages is Zarawa Keowen. It's just 2 miles from the small dwelling of Shu and Debu. This time the settlement consists not of one, but several families. Daily life among the Zo'é follows complex and intricate patterns, especially since families are often split apart by their semi-nomadic way of life. At any one time, a man or woman may have between 1 and 6 partners. From a young age, a girl is promised to an older man to be his future spouse. Only after the first menstrual cycle will adult relations begin. For the Zo'é, marriage and its obligations provide security against hunger. When a Zo'é man marries, he's expected not only to work in the manioc field, but also to hunt meat. Much of the Zo'é marriage system is still a mystery, but it seems that young women such as Debu often have at least one young husband attached to them. Tuai is about 20 years old and Kuru 24. Both are passing through a learning relationship. The older woman teaches them how to be a good husband, and in return they hunt and provide for the family. Often, the woman promises the attendant young husband one of her own young daughters by another husband. Debu's young husband Kuru has been promised Hunsaradit, her oldest daughter. Relations like these keep together the family unit. Another family, that's staying in Zarakiwen, have a different kind of agreement. It involves the temporary sharing of one teenage wife with two men. The agreement was reached because of a mutual attraction that grew between Murasin and Singu. They are openly intimate, and their affections are no secret. Murasin is 16. She's the young wife of Sinyu, who has agreed to share her with his friend in return for help with planting his manioc field. The temporary relationship has been sanctioned by both families. Jealousy seems to be rare among the Zo'é, but relationships are important communal events. The next morning brings with it some exciting news. A group of monkeys has been heard approaching Zarakiwen, and with it comes the promise of meat. Shu's family have also heard the distant cry of monkeys, and their attention turns once again to the hunt. Shu decides to craft a bow for the forthcoming hunt. The bow is made from the core of a tree found on the forest floor. The Zo'é know that the center of the tree is the strongest and the most pliant part. Shu works on its shape using the jawbone of a monkey. The bone is the perfect wood file, shaving the bow till it's smooth. Another of Debu's husbands, Kuru, is making arrows. He's working on the join between the main shaft of the arrow and where he'll insert the killing point. The Zo'é use string woven from natural plant fiber, but they also use modern cotton thread to strengthen the join. Into this they insert a wooden stick, which will later be sharpened to a point. Once made, the arrows are over 6 feet long, and the Zo'é decorate them with intricate patterns. Bows and arrows are the most important tools of the Zo'é men. From an early age, the children practice shooting, though fathers, such as Shu, wait till they're experts before allowing them to head out alone into the forest. Becoming an expert hunter is a skill that begins with innocent games. First, they shoot butterflies or aim at other arrows fired into the air. Many years later, these same hunting skills will feed their families, and they'll spend many days alone chasing the game. The Amazon rainforest is 2/3 the size of the United States, but the Zo'é hunt in an area no bigger than New York City. To us, it's an impenetrable mass of trees that few outsiders have entered. But to the Zo'é, it's a biological haven they know intimately. Boata is a hunter from Zarawa-Kewen. Like the other hunters, he's heard the screech of monkeys echoing through the forest. Sound is a forest hunter's most important tool. Without a highly developed sense of hearing, the Zo'é would not be able to catch food. Shu and Debu's family are following a different trail to Boata. They've realized that the monkeys have skirted their part of the forest and are now closer to Zarawa-Kewen. Rather than wasting the trip to the forest, they've decided instead to look for a tree that yields a special resin. The Zo'é call this sticky resin yik, which they use to make a natural glue. Hunsaradit and Samorandi set to work. They may only be 16 and 13 years old, but already they're experts at making baskets to collect the resin. Meanwhile, Twai chooses the best tree to climb. The tropical soil is thin. Nearly half the trees here are likely to collapse under his weight if he climbs the wrong one. It's his ladder to the forest canopy, where he'll be able to reach over to the resin-bearing tree. Below, Hunzarandit and Samorandi wait with their baskets. Spotting the tree resin on the forest floor is no easy task, but the girls are skilled foragers. Soon they've found every piece. Collecting the bark is just the first stage of making tree glue. Later on at the settlement, they'll extract the precious resin. Now, far away from Zarawa-Kewen, Boata spots a spider monkey high in the tree. If he doesn't hit it first time, he'll chase the monkey as it flees through the branches and try to get further shots. The hunter has hit the monkey, but it still manages to escape. Wounded high in the trees, Boata will get his chance to bring down his prey. He now only has one arrow left. After shooting animals, the Zo'é waste no time in taking the meat back to the village. A single monkey like this will provide enough protein for a whole family for days. The hunters from Zarawa-Kewen have been successful. It's not just monkey meat they've brought back from the forest. This means that tonight there'll be a feast. The meat is being cooked by Murasin with the help of her younger sisters. The first stage of cooking any animal is to remove its body hair. The flames singe the flesh, allowing the hair to be scraped off with a stick. For the Zo'é, preparing meat is strictly a woman's task. The men may watch, but not join in. Along with the monkeys, the hunters have caught many other animals, including small birds and rodents. Once the meat has been cut up and washed, it's all placed in the same earthenware pot and boiled. Even in the darkness of night, the preparation of food continues. The Zo'é have their own ways of creating light, using an extremely flammable resin as a night torch. They use this resin not only to light up their family dwellings, but as mobile lanterns. Murasin's mother is preparing a soup from the pulp of Brazil nuts. It's mixed with manioc flour and is rich in carbohydrates. But the real feast is taking place in Singu's hut. The meat prepared earlier is now ready. Sharing out the food follows complex rules. Specific parts of the animal are offered to different members of the family. In a feast like this one, close family members enjoy the best part of the meat, and the rest is divided out to more distant relatives. The contented family from Zarawakiawen talk and eat well into the night. But only 2 miles away, in Shu and Debu's hut, the family has gone without meat. Already they're thinking about the animals they'd be able to hunt if freed up from work in the manioc garden. Although agriculture is central to their survival, they still have to decide when the best time will be to pick up their hunting bows and follow the seasonal game. On a rocky outcrop, close to Shu and Debu's family dwelling, Hunsaradit is singing a song. The family are in need of some cheer. The hunter husbands haven't caught meat now for over 2 weeks. Hunsaradit's younger sister decides that it's time to head for a nearby waterfall. The waterfall is a favorite gathering place for all the Zo'é children and makes an excellent adventure playground. It's no coincidence that the waterfall is close to both Zarawa Kirwen and Shu and Debu's dwelling, for the Zo'é always know where to find water in the rainforest. Later that morning, Debu's children are helping Kuru's mother, Boda, process the tree resin. This is the same resin collected during their recent trip to the forest, and they're making glue. This forest glue has many uses, such as fixing feather flights to their arrows, and in attaching the unique feather headdresses to their foreheads. Processing glue from tree resin requires heat. By baking the tree resin on the hot clay plate, the sticky sap melts into a pliable lump of natural rubber. The rubber must be cooled and reheated at precise moments to create the right elasticity. Boda is an expert, having learned from her own mother many years ago when she too was a Zo'é child. Processing resin isn't the only manufacturing done by the Zo'é. They also refine salt from a bamboo-like grass found in the forest. The grass is cut into strips and cooked on the fire. It's worth the wait, for the salt is a mineral that helps prevent dehydration in the humid tropical climate. Some hours later, the ash from the fire contains the salt. The next stage is to extract the mineral using water. The lighter ash floats on the surface of the water, which is picked off one piece at a time. Eventually, the mineral residue will be left to dry out, leaving the salt crystals in the base of the bowl. The Zo'é have a wealth of skills and crafts, all of which use materials found in the rainforest. The women prize the softness of plant cottons and bird feathers, and spend many hours working these materials into body adornments. The Zo'é greatly value the importance of beauty within the tribe. The men sometimes paint their bodies black, using charcoal, whereas women cover their bodies in a red dye made from a plant called urukum. Today, Debu is making a brand new feather headdress for her daughter Samarandi. These distinctive adornments are unique to the Zo'é. The women consider them beautiful and, like the lip plugs, central to their identity. The soft white feathers are the down from vultures, and these are glued with the processed tree resin that the Zo'é call jik. Zo'é women wear these headdresses permanently, only removing them on occasions like this when they're attaching a new one. The headdresses remain fixed to their heads for many weeks. To complete the new headdress, Debu tucks in more feathers to Samarandit's adornment. The bright new halos of white feathers will be admired by others in the tribe. It's not long before the family is once again out searching for food. Debu's two younger husbands are poison fishing, using the sap of the wood called timbo. Pounding the wood eventually releases the juices. The poisons stun the nervous systems of fish, but don't harm humans. Zo'é begins to spread the deadly poisons around the rock pool. A stretch of water this size will need at least 4 arm-length pieces of wood to work effectively. The deadly white sap will take a while to spread through the whole pool. Kuru spots the first fish. It's no longer than the palm of his hand. Poison fishing is a patient business. It takes a while for the sap to reach all the fish in the pool. Shu joins Debu at the rock pool, and he's brought with him some cacao, the same fruit used to make chocolate. The 2 young husbands eat theirs by the pool in case they spot fish. A sudden change in the weather brings the poison fishing to an end. The family sense a heavy downpour on its way, and they head back to their shelter. Rainfall is vital to the Amazon environment, but not good for hunting animals. During a downpour, the Zo'é sit out the rains and wait. This, however, does not stop them dreaming of fresh meat. Catching game remains the source of much discussion within the family dwelling. Already, Shu, the most experienced hunter, is suggesting that they leave the manioc garden and head for a part of the forest where there's likely to be more game. Two miles away, in Zarawa Kirwen, the rains have not dampened the mood. The families here are still full on last night's meat feast, and they still have work to do in their manioc gardens. Unlike Debu and Shu's family, they have not yet begun talking of leaving their manioc gardens and settlement. Back at Shu's hut, Tiahu returns with firewood. The family can at least keep warm. The oldest husband suddenly breaks into song and dance, much to the amusement of the others. Tiahu is the gentle joker of the clan. When he was a younger man, he too was a respected hunter. Now, too old to hunt, he supports Debu's family in other ways, including by keeping them cheerful during hard times. That night, the rain continues to fall. The family keep their fires well stoked to bring some comfort to their tipchi. Inside the hammocks, the family continue their discussions about leaving. Soon, it'll be the season of the fat monkeys, a time of year when the forest monkeys gorge themselves on ripened fruit. They know that the sooner they complete the work in the manioc gardens, the quicker they'll reach the hunting grounds. The decision has been made. Shu and Debu's family will leave the small dwelling as soon as the last of the manioc flour has been cooked. In less than 3 hours, the entire household will pack up, clear the house and head into the forest. The move will include their household pets, 2 tortoises, 2 monkeys, 3 curacao birds, and a parakeet. The Zo'é live with only what they can carry, and what they carry depends on their skills as basket makers. The baskets are made from a variety of palm that the Zo'é call sakuri. The natural fibres of palm are extremely strong. By interlacing the separate leaves, they're able to make their jungle backpacks. The assortment of jungle backpacks takes them less than an hour to complete. Not only are the packs capable of carrying enormous loads, equivalent to the weight of an adult man, but they aren't weakened by humidity or rain. Before leaving, Bunsaradit feeds the household pets. But their main task for the animals is to make them specially crafted pet baskets. In a matter of minutes, the 2 girls craft intricate animal baskets to protect the pets during the move. Hammocks are among the few possessions they take with them. They'll put them, along with the pet baskets, inside the larger carrying packs. The monkeys will be carried through the forest on their heads. Samarandi looks after the younger monkey. Its constant attempts to run off are a ceaseless cause for amusement. The most important items that Zo'é take with them are their arrows. The husbands have made many new ones for the monkey hunting season ahead. The family have many days' walk in front of them to get to the best hunting grounds. It's a seasonal journey the whole family know well. Shu and Debu's family passed through the manioc garden. Less than a month ago, they arrived here with what they carried on their naked backs. Now again they leave with the replanted manioc behind them. In 3 days, the family will reach the feeding grounds of the forest monkeys. No one, other than the Zo'é, know exactly where these feeding grounds are. It's all part of a secret knowledge that's been passed down from one generation to the next for hundreds, if not thousands of years. As Shu, Debu, and their nomadic family head deeper into the Amazon, their dwelling is once again left behind, abandoned. When they return, in many months to come, their manioc gardens will, once again, be ready to harvest.